Today we're going to be talking about human migration to the Americas. One theory that we're going to take a look at today is called the Bering-Land Bridge theory. There are a few different theories out there on how people actually came to the Americas, but there are many archaeologists that believe that people crossed what is known as the Bering-Land Bridge, and we'll take a look at what that is in a minute. Before we start, I would like you to answer these two do now questions, if you could write them down in your notebook. So the first question says, what happens to the sea level when glaciers melt? So think about a glacier melting. What's going to happen to the water? Okay. And then also, challenge part of this question, if you can answer it, how does this impact the land? And then the same thing, we're going to reverse it now. What happens to the sea level when glaciers form? So think about a glacier sucking up water. What's going to happen to the sea level? And then also the challenge part of that question is, how does this impact land? Take a minute, write down your thoughts, pause the video here, and then start the video and we'll answer it in a few seconds. Okay, before we go back and answer those questions, and we will get to them, I do want you to take a look at this world map, because before we talk about how humans migrated to the Americas, it's important to know what other continents they could be coming from and where those continents are located and what bodies of water they are crossing over. So we have the continents are labeled in green. We have North America, and what the area that we're going to be talking about specifically where humans crossed the Bering Land Bridge is going to be what is now Alaska, which is up here, okay? We also have South America, we have Europe, and Asia. And there are some scientists and archaeologists that do call Europe and Asia one continent, and they will sometimes refer to it as Eurasia. But for our purposes, we're going to keep them separate, okay? There's also Africa, Australia, and down here there is Antarctica. So for the oceans, we have the Pacific Ocean, which borders the western coast of North America. That would be like California. The Atlantic Ocean borders the eastern coast of North and South America. So if you went to the ocean on Long Island, if you went to Smith's Point, or if you went to Jones Beach, you would be visiting the Atlantic Ocean. We have the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, which borders India, which is right here, and then the Southern Ocean. Okay, so let's talk about where the Bering Land Bridge is. Today, there is not a land bridge there. There's a body of water there that is called the Bering Strait. So like I said before, we were going to talk about where Alaska is today. So here's Alaska, and here is what is and this area in here is a very narrow body of water, the Bering Strait, that opens up to two larger bodies of water, one here and one here. And if you take a look over here, it says a strait is a narrow passage of water connecting two seas or two other large areas of water. So the Bering Strait connects the Arctic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. So the sea level, this is going to relate to our do now question. So think back to your answers, or take a look back at your answers from the do now question. The Bering Land Bridge theory says that during the Ice Age, so there's going to be a lot of glaciers have formed, the sea level dropped. So think of glaciers as like a sponge sucking up the water, making the water level or the sea level drop, and it exposes land that ordinarily wouldn't have been there. So today, this is what this area looks like. Here's the Bering Strait. You can see that Russia and Alaska are not connected. You can't walk across here, right? You would need a boat. However, during the Ice Age, when those glaciers sucked up the water and dropped the sea level, this land here was exposed and people could walk across it and animals could walk across it. So the Bering Land Bridge theory says that humans migrated over this land that was exposed when they were following their food. So remember that people during this time were hunter-gatherers, and they were following herds of animals, hunting herds of animals. So if animals crossed the Bering Land Bridge and came south into North and South America here, people would have followed too. Archaeologists believe this is true because they have found similar artifacts on the coast here of Russia as they have in the coast here of Alaska and down around the coast here of North and South America.